Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of CWK Live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm your host, Dan Zare. Delighted, absolutely delighted to talk Star Wars with each and every one of you. Let's bring in our friends to CWK Live. It's a little bright in here. First, we've got Minta. This is the way. It's CWK Day. Hello, Minta. Great to have you back on the show. Mary is with us. Happy Tuesday to you, Mary. Great to chat with you on this cold and brisk Tuesday afternoon here in Central Illinois. Mr. Fudge is back. Hello to you, my friend. He says, hello, everyone. Great to see you. We've got a few other people here. I'll give them a chance to come on the show. Look who's back. It's Mason Z. He says, hello, CWK fam. I am back. It is great to see you, Mason's there. Super happy to have you back on CWK Live. I'm sure our friends will be excited as well. Darren is here. He says, must be letter C day. Darren, it is, and I hope you have been doing your homework, my friend. It's great to have you on the show. Robert is also returning. Robert, hello. He says, hello, everybody. Great to have you here, Robert. And here is Anthony. He says, hey, Dan and CWK fam. Loving the holiday studio, Dan. Well, thank you so much, buddy. Great to see you here on the show. Mary extends a hello to Mason, as does our friends Burnt Waffle. Hello, friends. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about what is going to be on the show this evening. We've got the top 5 episodes, your top 5 episodes from the Disney Plus series Ahsoka. We're naturally going to talk all about that. We also have on the show, we're going to do the return of something that has been asked about quite a bit. And I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get back to it. We're going to do some Star Wars trivia. And then we've got our Aurebesh lessons, which continue. Mason is excited for trivia. We are excited to play that as well. So now let's take a look at what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
Yes. What is indeed brewing in the Star Wars universe this week? Well, we've got some book announcements, which is exciting. We have Weird But True from Star Wars, 300 Epic Facts from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. National Geographic does these great Weird But True books. You find them in a lot of museums and, of course, fine bookstores everywhere. And now there's going to be a Star Wars one that comes out August 6th. 2024. So it's a bit away. And there are a few previews of it on StarWars.com. Lucasfilm executive publisher guru extraordinaire. He's director of Lucasfilm Publishing, Michael Siglain, has a great little piece on StarWars.com about it, so be sure to check that out. We'll look forward to that August 6th. And Mason has heard of this. He says, I love Weird But True. Awesome, bud. Well, I have a feeling that maybe it will show up at the CWK studios. We're optimistic. We also have, this is exciting, the final mix. Oh, I spelled mix with two X's. That was a mistake. Sorry. Don't tell the English teacher. Wait, that's me. We've got the final mix of the Bad Batch. This is in the interior of Skywalker Sound. And that is David W. Collins on the right. And we've got the rest of the creative team that is behind the Bad Batch. So they're doing the final mixing of the sound on it, which means we're getting close to completing the final season of that incredible series, Star Wars The Bad Batch. Now, when is it coming out? We don't know. But the fact that they're posting that they've done the final mix on the sound for this thing is very encouraging news. Okay, the next one is not Star Wars related, but hear me out. On Saturday night, as you know, I'm a massive Kiss fan. I've recently introduced my son, Mason, and the older boys. Of course, I've already known about Kiss. But a few of us went to the Kiss concert in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago with CWK Alliance member Ross Sullivan. Had a terrific time. And last Saturday was the final show that Kiss ever did. Now, you might be saying, okay, that's cool, but why are you talking about that? Well, at the end of the concert from Madison Square Garden, there was a big announcement where Kiss is going to live on and is going to perform in avatar form. And it's this huge, massive technological endeavor. They worked, of course, very closely aligned with Kiss, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Tommy Thayer, and Eric Singer. And ILM helped to create their avatars. Now, there's a lot of great videos about it online. Anthony knows what I'm talking about. Kiss plus ILM, yes, please. I know. What a cool combination. There's a look at what they look like. And there is sort of the animated version of what their avatars are going to look like. And apparently, I watched an interview with Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. And they are going to have it in such a way that, like, if someone from the crowd goes, hey, we love you, Paul will be able to interact and say, I love you too. So it's, the technology is great. ILM, of course, we don't have to tell you, I don't have to tell you how great ILM is. So this is exciting stuff. Mason says, I'm super excited for Kiss, a new era. You know what? It's going to be great, buddy. I have a feeling we might be a part of that. So there is that. I had to sneak some Kiss stuff in there. It is relevant to ILM, so that works for me. Anthony says, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because many other bands could follow suit if it is successful. I know. And Kiss has that unique thing because of the costuming and the masquerade aspect of things. So I agree, it will be really fun. Robert grew up on Kiss Film in 1990. Nice. Robert, we're probably a very, very similar ages, I would guess. All right, let's jump into merch. Merchandise available at shopdisney.com. You probably saw me online. Getting very excited about this. As you all know, I'm a massive fan of Star Wars Rebels and, of course, Jedi Master Kanan Jarrus, played by Freddie Prinze Jr. in Star Wars Rebels. And finally, after a very long wait, we voted on it, I think, over a year ago on the Disney Parks blog to select which was the next Legacy lightsaber that we wanted to see of a certain very exclusive collection of lightsabers. And I lobbied shamelessly for Kanan Jarrus. And that didn't have anything to do with me, but the Kanan Jarrus lightsaber is in some parks, if you can find it, at Taco-Andars and available on Shop Disney. In fact, if you go to Shop Disney now, pretty sure you can still find it. What a great looking lightsaber that is. Darren says that's an interesting deal for ILM to take on something different. I know, very exciting stuff. Minta is thrilled about the Kanan lightsaber, as is my son Mason, who simply says in all caps, wow. And it is a very big wow. Mason, love having you here, buddy. We love this energy. So good. You got a lot of friends here who also are drooling based on your comments over the Kanan Jarrus lightsaber. We've got a couple pictures of it. There it is with the lightsaber extended. Terry King said, I'm going to go back to the previous screen. Terry King had said because of our Aurebesh lessons, he's able to kind of start deciphering some of this stuff without having to look it up, which is cool. There it is again with the lightsaber on. And there's a close-up of just the hilt itself. I don't know how it comes apart or any of that stuff, but it's pretty great. Robert says the Stellan Geos was gone within 10 minutes. Wow. But I got the Kanan and Generous one ordered. I got a message from Shop Disney saying that it's now on its way, which is very exciting. And yes, I know one of our good friends, uh, Andrew Harrison, he also got the Stellan Geos lightsaber. He sent me some pictures. He texted me a few pictures of it. It looks tremendous. Someone no name may be getting this saber for his birthday at the end of the month. Ooh, Mary, that is exciting. That is awesome. Mr. Fudge says this is a shiny lightsaber. Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. Okay, now here's one. I've been trying to promote stuff for Heroes and Villains, the amazing website, which shows it has a lot of different pop culture, mostly clothing. I mean, as almost exclusively clothing, backpacks, things like that. But I spotlight a couple things here that I know some of you have been talking about or you might be interested in. This is the Ahsoka satin pajama set. And not only does it have Ahsoka, but there's like Sabine, there's Boba Fett, there's all kinds of different ones. I just picked Ahsoka stuff because tonight's theme on live is Ahsoka. We have the Ahsoka Sherpa sock and headband set. Again, all this can be found at heroesandvillains.com. Just click on Star Wars and you'll see all of this stuff. And with all of these, as you can see on every single one of these slides, if you put in the code COFFEE, you're going to get it 20% off, which is fantastic. And you also support me and the show. Then we have the Ahsoka ankle sock set. There's 3 different pairs. And the Heroes and Villains socks are really comfortable. I really like them. Minta says, those look wicked comfy. Yeah, there's some great stuff there. Again, use the code, friends, COFFEE, for 20% off whenever you get anything, not just Star Wars related, on Heroes and Villains. I'm just spotlighting a few things I thought you might be interested in. Okay, it is time for our Aurebesh lesson. Aurebesh lesson's easy for me to say. You know how this works. We've got the 2 weeks ago when we started this was a letter A, which very much looks like a K, but it is not. It is an A. So do me a favor, and I brought a little camera just for such an event here, so you can sort of see what I'm doing. But we're going to do this. Oh, somebody's knocking on the door. Oh, hi, Mason.
Hi.
Perfect. So Mason is going to do these lessons with us. That's thrown me off a little bit. Okay, so this is what I do. I already did this earlier tonight, but I have found in my years of teaching that when you watch someone write something, it helps a lot as well. So there is our A's across the top. So everybody write the letter A a couple of times as practice. And as I said, when you write it, you draw the line down, then across, and then up. When you write it, keep saying it to yourself. This is the letter A, okay? Then you do it on the bottom here like this, across and down. Boy, this is not working out the way I said, but there's the letter A right there. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. They're hard enough to write as it is, and then when you hold a camera, it's even more interesting. So that is the worst Aurebesh A ever. But it gets fun and gross. You can just put your notepad right there, buddy. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let's see. I'll show them yours. There's Mason's A. Pretty good. All right. So now that's the letter A, and as you're writing it, just kind of think about it, and that is A. And you say it to yourself as you're writing. Now here's the letter B, as you remember. So it's a little line down. And then you draw a diagonally down to the left, and you draw a line across like a dash. And then the opposite line on the other side down again. Like almost like the top of a hamburger, right? Then you do the same thing on the bottom, a little diagonal line down. Then you draw it across and then diagonally up. And then you draw a little dash in the middle. And you've got, again, a B. It looks much better on my actual picture than me drawing it, but you get the idea, okay? Lori says, Mary, she would love one of those. Nice. All right, here's the letter C. This is brand new. So now you should know A and B pretty well by now if you've been practicing every single day like we talked about. So letter C, you draw a line to straight up and down, a longer line. Okay, and then next to that, you basically go about halfway from the line and just draw straight down, like I did there. And then you go from the top of the middle line and go all the way down to make it the same length as the other one. And that is a C. So it's basically 3 lines. Again, you just draw one line, and then you go to the right of that line from about the middle and draw down. And then you go to the right one more time, start at the same spot, but instead of going halfway, you go all the way down, and there is a C. So I'll give you a few minutes to go ahead and rewrite the letter C a couple of times. As promised, we always have homework for this kind of stuff, but I think it helps. So I'm going to draw my C a couple of times. Mason, I encourage you to do the same thing. And then we will show our work. And I keep forgetting to post my homework every day on CWK Cafe. So that is on me. But you can draw a line all the way long, and a short one, then another long one. And this is again just a C. And I'm starting to notice, and hopefully you are too, as you're looking at your Star Wars collections or looking at things online, or you're watching old Star Wars things, you're probably starting to see and recognize some of these letters. Okay, so I drew a couple across here on the bottom. And again, my middle one isn't so great, but you got the letter with a C. Mason, go ahead and show them yours. Oh wow, why does yours look so much better than mine?
I don't know.
I think it's just because you have better handwriting. Yeah. Very good. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you at your keyboard.
Why don't I stay here?
You want to stay here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how are you going to comment?
Talking.
Okay. Let's do that. Mason is going to stay here as my co-host. You can go get a chair if you want. Okay. He's going to go get a chair. He'll be right back. How about that for a fun little bonus? All right, now it is time to go into our top 5. Let's do it. Our top 5 for tonight. I always forget that that's muted. Our top 5 for tonight is your top 5 Ahsoka episodes. So this was a bit of a fun one. Of course, I've not rewatched Ahsoka since the actual airing of the series itself. But Mason was very much my companion throughout all of this. And we're going to go ahead and revisit these. So get your list ready to go. Mary says, co-host Mason's there. Awesome treat for tonight. Yes, it's pretty cool. All right, number 5 for me, I have for you, is Dreams and Madness. Dreams and Madness is the episode. I got to revisit my list here. I didn't write down. Dreams and Madness is the penultimate episode, the second to last episode. This is when Senator Ziono has his confrontation with Hera, and then C-3PO comes in and saves the day. There's a great fight sequence at the end, and then Ahsoka, an enlightened Ahsoka, has her battle with Baylan Skoll. And there's a lot of great stuff. The pacing is exciting. We learn a little bit more about Ezra. We get to see some cool Force sequences. So it's a good episode. Number 5 for Darren is Master and Apprentice. Master and Apprentice, episode 1, he says. Master and Apprentice is the first episode in the series, and of course sets the stage for everything. Robert's number 5 is Dreams of Madness. Ahsoka's joy seems to return. A very good explanation, a thesis statement of that. Mean's 5, the first episode is me from the get-go. We got to see several familiar characters and surprising cameos. So Mason, you want to share your number 1 and explain it?
You mean number 5?
Yeah, your number 5.
My number 5 is episode 1 because just like Minta said, we get to see a lot of familiar characters, and it's just so good when you see those characters.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Let's go ahead and then let's see who else do we have next. Minta, did we share yours? Yep, we did. Mary's number 5 is part 1, Master and Apprentice. It begins our new journey. Hugh Yang steals the show. He always steals the show. He's such a great character. So there's quite a few of you who have not put yours in yet, so I don't want to move on without giving you your chance to do so. But of course, while you're watching this, if you think of it later, you can certainly add it. And as you know, whether you're able to join us live here on coffeewithkenobi.com/live, which is our Facebook and YouTube channel. You can always listen to the audio feed on your podcast later or rewatch the videos on Coffee with Kenobi's Facebook or YouTube pages. I will go ahead and jump into number 4. Number 4, I put Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior, I'm scrolling down here, is the 5th episode. And this is the episode where at the end, Ahsoka gets a bunch of Purgils to take her away. This is while we have the big, of course, battle. This is like the one that was like the biggest deal of the season, I would say, for the hype, because this is when we get to see the entire episode with mostly Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. Ahsoka's in a world between worlds. We get to see a lot of Jason Syndulla, and it's got that epic ending with the Purgils. And I'm sure a lot of people put it higher, and I think that's great. But for me, there are several reasons why. But I, as much as I loved it, I'm still not convinced that Ahsoka learned anything, which makes it troubling for me. So that is why I keep it at number 4. You want to share your number 4 before we go on to everybody else's?
My number 4 is Dreams and Madness. Because, just like yours, it's just super good.
Yeah, it is super good. All right, let's look at Mary's number 4. Number 4 for Mary is Far, Far Away. I wish we could have heard Hugh Yang stories, but that title card was pretty amazing. Yes, indeed it was. Robert's number 4 is Part 8, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Wow. And the Warlord. Sabine connects with the Force in the epic conclusion. Mita's number 4 is Fallen Jedi. Darren's number 4 is Dreams and Madness, Episode 7, which is the Ezra reveal, which is so good. And that's one of the reasons I put that one on my list too, because it's a terrific, heartfelt moment, I would say, for sure. Let's see. While you're thinking about the next one, I do want to make sure I share with you all. I get more and more questions about this all the time, which makes me really happy, which means you're considering going with me and Mouse Fan Travel in the summer of 2025 on the Disney Wish. Once that happens, go to coffeewithkenobi.com/mousefantravel and we can get you booked. And as soon as Disney announces cruise dates for the summer of 2025, I will let you know. But in the meantime, if you want to plan a vacation, I could suggest no one better than Mouse Fan Travel. You can get the best vacation possible, and it's also an amazing way to support me and this show. Let's go ahead and jump into number 3. Number 3 for me is Far, Far Away. And the main reason it's so high on my list is because, like Mary said, that title card where Yu Yang says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And we realize this is a story about a story. As an English teacher and a mythology lover, that hits all the right notes for me. It's got some great battle sequences. And it's also very much a heavy sort of Sabine-focused episode. And it was very, very cool. So I really like Far, Far Away quite a bit. What about you for your number 3, Mace?
My number 3 is Shadow Warrior. Because when she's in the world between worlds, it's just an amazing sequence.
Right, and you get to see Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Number 3 for Minta is Dreams and Madness. To see Ezra again was a great joy, and the current actor has him down to a T. Yeah, he's terrific. I love him. Number 3 for Robert is Part 6, Far, Far Away, Finding Thrawn. I haven't even mentioned Thrawn yet, but yes, that was a big deal. Just that first entrance he had was so unique. Mary's number 3 is Part 8, The Jedi, is Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Some answers to our questions, but Balin standing on the arm of the father of the Mortis gods, which was pretty epic, I gotta say. Number 3 for Darren, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Episode 8, setting up the stage for Season 2. Boy, oh boy. So cool. Mr. Fudge's number 3 is Fallen Jedi. Fallen Jedi is another great one, which I'm sure that we will talk about quite a bit throughout this as well. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and jump into number 2. Pardon me. I think my stomach is growling. I must be thinking about the yummy dinner we had tonight. I think that's it. Number 2 for me, hey, what do you know? Just like Mr. Fudge just said, number 2 for me is Fallen Jedi. This is a great one because this is when, at the end of it, Ahsoka and Balin have this fateful duel. Ahsoka appears to plunge to her death, and at the end, Anakin appears and says, "Hey, Snips." But before that, there's this great sequence in the forest. There's a lot of amazing lightsaber duels. We get to see a lot of great stuff with Balin Skull, the big idea reveal of Thrawn's location being revealed. It's just a terrific, I think 3, 4, and 5 are some of the best Star Wars we've ever seen in sequential order, and just tremendous stuff. Minta's number 2 is Far, Far Away as well. Mason, what is your number 2?
Far, Far Away. Add on to yours for Fallen Jedi. Also, when Sabine fights, what's her name? The apprentice.
Shin Hati.
Shin Hati. How she uses her grappling thing on her wrist is really cool on that.
Oh yeah, good memory. Very good memory. Let's see. Mary's number 2 is Part 7 Dreams of Madness, Sabine's journey to find Ezra, and we meet new creatures. Plus, Ezra Bridger himself. Robert's number 2 is Part 5 Shadow Warrior, Anakin's Lessons for Ahsoka and the Purgils. Excellent. Darren's number 2 is Shadow Warrior, Episode 5, The Anakin Vader Return, which is so exciting. And then Mr. Fudge's number 2 is The Jedi, The Witch, and the Warlord, which has, of course, come up a lot because that is the big finale to the episode. But speaking of a finale, let's get to our number 1. Our number 1 choice, the top Ahsoka Tano episode, for me is Time to Fly. Now, this is the 3rd episode in the series. I remember reviewing this for Coffee with Kenobi, and I remember saying to Ross and Jen, this is a perfect Star Wars episode. It's got a great space sequence. It's got new Jedi reveals where Jedi moves, I should say, where Ahsoka goes on the outside into space with that suit on and fights with her lightsaber on the surface of that starship, the Jedi starship. And then there's a great sequence at the beginning where Ahsoka and Sabine are training, and there's a nice little cliffhanger ending as well, where we know that Ahsoka and her friends are going to be hunted down. And I loved it. To me, there was a lot of terrific episodes in this amazing, amazing Disney Plus series. But Time to Fly was as good as it gets. All right, Mace, what's your number 1?
My number 1 was The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Just one of the most, or I should say the best ending of a series that we could have got for that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember you really, really liked it. I think you liked it more than me, actually. Let's see what everybody else have for their number 1. Number 1 for Mary is Shadow Warrior. All right, excellent. Robert's number 1 is Master and Apprentice, along with all the anticipation of what was to come. That's cool. Mr. Fudge, Shadow Warrior, because we got the flashbacks of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. You know, the young Ahsoka that we got to see was just totally amazing. Burnt Waffles number 1 is Shadow Warrior. Minta's number 1 is Shadow Warrior. The reunion between Ahsoka and Anakin is one for the ages. He was still teaching her in the world between worlds, and Ahsoka was willing to finish her final lessons to become a great Jedi. Minta, excellent. Darren's number 1 is Fallen Jedi, Episode 4. The stakes are high. They don't get much higher, do they? Burnt Waffles number 1 is Shadow Warriors, because you can see the flashbacks of the Clone Wars, and also you get to see Captain Rex. That's right, for a really quick second. Well, thank you so much, everybody. And as always, once I post this video live on the CWK Cafe feed, you can add your top 5 in if you're not able to join us live. So next week, look, there's something really, really amazing that is on Disney Plus right now. It's called Timeless Heroes, Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford. It is an hour-and-a-half long documentary about Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford. And we're going to watch it, and we're going to give our top 5 moments and get prepared to just be completely happy. Maybe bring some tissues with you because it's quite emotional. It's really fantastic. You are just going to love it. Now, I know what you're waiting for. You are excited for a little bit. Whoops, that's not it. You're excited for a little bit of trivia. So it is of the return of Star Wars Trivia. So Mason, I know you want to join me as my co-pilot, but you're going to see the answers. So if you want to go back up on stairs, you can try to answer these.
Try to hide it so I don't see it, or I'll just not look.
I don't think that's going to work.
I just won't look.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting. All right, Minta, you do need to watch ASAP. It's going to be great stuff. All right, here we go. Time to jump into Star Wars Trivia. I wish we did it more because I just really like that intro. Okay, time for some trivia, friends. Okay, so you know how this works. Just be honest. Now, I wrote these in advance. They're pretty challenging, I gotta say. They're pretty challenging, and they are required knowledge of Star Wars from lots of different perspectives, a lot of different aspects of Star Wars. So it'll be fun. If you don't know it, don't worry about it. Don't look up the answers. Just do your best, and we'll learn together. Are you ready? All right. Let's go with question number 1. Mason, you're not going to be able to look, buddy.
I know.
Okay.
Also, no looking in the Star Wars book.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you for that prop. Knuckles. What is the name? Your first question is, what is the name of Brian Daley's first Han Solo novel? What is the name of Brian Daley's first Han Solo novel? Around the time of the original trilogy in the late 70s, Brian Daley wrote 3 different Star Wars books, and they all feature Han Solo and Chewbacca. Pablo Hidalgo has said many times online that they are his favorite Star Wars books, at least from the Legends line of things. But what is the name of Brian Daley's first Han Solo novel? It's tough. It's tough. I had to really think about it too. Mason, do you have any guesses?
No.
No? Anthony says, is it At Star's End? So it will be Han Solo at Star's End. Okay, that's the first guess. Thank you, Anthony. Anybody else have any ideas? I know it's a tricky one. Again, Brian Daley wrote this novel. He wrote 3 of them, and I think it'll be fun to revisit them sometime for the show. Mary says, me either, Mason. She is not sure about this one either. It's not easy, is it? Again, the question is, hide your eyes, buddy. It says, what is the name of Brian Daley's first Han Solo novel? You have 3 different options to choose from. Anybody else want to guess? Robert says a Han Solo part, but I have no idea about the rest. Okay, that is totally fair. That's totally fair. Well, I will give the answer to this one. The answer to the first one, to the first novel, I actually have it right here, the original copy. It is Han Solo at Star's End by Brian Daley. And so, Anthony, you were correct, buddy. There it is right there. We found this actually at a used bookstore, I think somewhere in Illinois, but pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff. Okay, there's number 1. All right, let's get to question number 2. Yeah, nice job, Anthony. Let's give Anthony a round of applause. Nice job, buddy. Anthony says, I love reading Han Solo's Revenge back in the day. That's so cool, man. All right, let's go to question number 2. Number 2 is, this is also a book question. What is the planet's name in the novel Splinter of the Mind's Eye, where the Kyber crystal is hidden? What is the name of the planet in the novel Splinter of the Mind's Eye, where the Kyber crystal is hidden? So, this is a crazy question, but this planet, while Splinter of the Mind's Eye by, which I also, you can probably guess for how I figured out some of these, which I have right here. There is a picture of that Kyber crystal. There you go, buddy. That picture is by a very familiar Star Wars artist, I would say. Any guesses who this artist is? That's a bonus question. But this is a novel that George Lucas originally had commissioned, that had Alan Dean Foster write in case there wasn't going to be a sequel to Star Wars made. So in this book, there's this planet that they're on, and there's this Kyber crystal, which is spelled differently in this book. That is supposed to give people the ability to have power over the Force. And so what planet did this occur on? It is an existing planet in the world of canonical Star Wars. So there aren't that many, are there? Only like, what, hundreds? So what do you think? Any guesses, Mace?
I have 2 guesses.
All right, let's hear them.
My guess is Dagobah and Kashyyyk.
Dagobah and Kashyyyk are Mason's guesses. Thank you for guessing. I
saw
like
the
it.
trees in the background.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, I'll show you the cover to this one. Ralph McQuarrie is the artist on this, by the way. That was the bonus question. But again, the question is, what is the name? Oh, how'd your eyes again, buddy? What's the planet's name in Splinter of the Mind's Eye where the Kyber crystal is hidden? I just need one guess before I can move on. I made these too hard, didn't I? That's okay. That's good. We'll learn together. I wouldn't have known this off the top of my head either. I'll give you a hint. The planet is important in the Star Wars Clone Wars episode Rookies. And it also is heavily featured in the movie Solo, A Star Wars Story. Now that's the canonical version. The planet originally was a little bit different, but there are some similarities. So any ideas? I'll give you a few moments to check. I wish I had like a little timer right here. Anthony's guess is Mimban. Okay. Robert's guess is also Mimban. Okay, cool. Got a couple of guesses. I like it. You should always, like I tell my students, you should always guess. There's no penalty for guessing, unless you're at the end of Monty Python and the Holy Grail and you're on that bridge. But that's a separate thing. Minta says Kashyyyk, like Mason said. Okay, a good guess. Anybody else? Darren says Endor. Okay, happy to see this. I think it's time to reveal it. The answer is, looks like Anthony is 2 for 2. It is Mimban. Need to revisit my copy of Splinter of the Mind's Eye. Anthony, you were correct. It is Mimban. Not Mabu, but that is a good guess. It says in the back here, hidden on this planet was the Kyber crystal, a mysterious gem that would give the one who possessed it such powers over the Force that he would be all but invincible. And it says it's Luke as in the swamplands of Mimban. So Mimban actually ultimately inspires Dagobah. So pretty good guess, Mace. It is not the planet where the Star Killer base is on. Okay, hopefully this one is a little bit easier. Let's see. Here's question number 3. What Jedi does Darth Vader save from the Grand Inquisitor, but later kills anyway because the Jedi learns Vader's true identity? This one is from the comics. Everything I'm asking you is from the comics. Don't guess yet. I'm going to read the question again. What Jedi does Darth Vader save from the Grand Inquisitor, but later kills anyway because the Jedi learns Vader's true identity? Any guesses?
The Darth Vader comics?
It is in the Darth Vader comics.
Oh, I just read these.
Yes, I know you did. So that is part of why I wrote this, actually. Any guesses? So, what Jedi does Darth Vader originally save from the Grand Inquisitor, but later kills anyway because this Jedi learns Darth Vader's true identity? Anthony says it's Jocasta Nu. Robert says it's Nu, who's the librarian, and that is the librarian. That's correct. Any other guesses so far? So we know that it is after Revenge of the Sith. So any Jedi who died in Revenge of the Sith wouldn't be this. It has to be a Jedi who had escaped. Zach is here. What's up, man? He says Quinlan Voss, if I spelled it right. It's pretty close. It's pretty close, and great to see you, Zach. Great to see you here on CWK Live. Again, one more time, the question is, what Jedi did Darth Vader save from the Grand Inquisitor, but later kill anyway because this Jedi learns Darth Vader's true identity? The answer is Jocasta Nu. So 3 for 3, Anthony. Robert is 2 for 3. It's going well. We've got 2 left. Nice job. Can anyone get them all right? Here we go. Here's number 4. What clone trooper kills the renegade Jedi Master Pong Krell? There is an arc in the Clone Wars where Pong Krell is the 4-armed Jedi, and he ends up turning evil, and he really does not like the clones. And it's a really good, I think it's 3 episodes. I don't think it's 4.
It's 3.
Is it 3? I think it's 3. I could be wrong. We could be wrong, but I think it's 3. Anyway, Pong Krell is quite a problem. But there is, at the end, he ends up being killed by a clone. Which clone is it? Robert said his guess is a clone named Dogma. Okay. Anthony also said that it's Dogma, and he's got an exclamation point. So he feels pretty good about this. Mason, did you look at the answer?
No.
Do you have any idea who it is?
No. I'm just going to say Dogma.
Okay. Mr. Fudge is Commander Fox or Jesse. Okay. Normally I would make you pick just one, Mr. Fudge, but because you're such an awesome supporter of CWK Live, and I'm going to let you have both guesses. Mita says Dogma, and Burnt Waffle says, is it Dogma? Anybody else? Mary, do you want to guess this one? You don't have to, of course. But I will give you a few moments to think about it. Do I have like a little... I don't have the Jeopardy symbol song. That would be fun. Zach remembers the episodes, but not the troopers. This is a tricky one. I had to look this one up. But the answer is, in fact, Dogma. So, there you go. Congratulations to all of you who got that one right. Anthony's on fire. And Robert, too. Both doing so well. Mary, don't feel bad. We didn't know either. Here's the last one. This, I feel like, is the easiest of this batch. Okay, ready? Don't look, Mace. What is Chopper's full droid name? His droid designation. What is Chopper's full droid name? His actual name isn't Chopper. That was become sort of a nickname. But what is his actual droid name? You can look now, Mace. Well, don't look on my wall. Yeah, if you're in the studio, you might get a pretty good understanding of what it actually might be. So what is the official droid name of Chopper? If Aaron Harris was on tonight, he would know it. Anthony says it's C110P. Mason says that's true also. Okay. Anybody else have a guess? Robert says C110P too. Mary says C110P, and I'm just going to hold up my retro Chopper because he's the cutest. Darren says it, so does Minta, so does Mr. Fudge. It appears everyone got this one right. It was C110P, a special extra hurrah to Anthony and Robert for doing so well. You all did well because we all played, we tried, we had fun, we did our best, and we learned a bit about Star Wars. How about that? All right, let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z.
And Mason Z.
And Mason Z. All right, time to ask. You've got some Zares here that you can ask. One quick update. Next week, we're actually not going to be on Tuesday. I'm going to throw that on there. We're actually going to be on Monday, December 11th, because for a very important reason, December 12th is Deanna's birthday, and we're going to celebrate this amazing woman who is so essential to our lives. So next week, CWK Live is going to be on Monday, December 11th. There will not be a show next Tuesday, but there will be one next Monday, December 11th. All right. Mary says, finally, when I knew those were hard, those were very challenging. Here's a question. Do we think Captain Rex will be shown in Ahsoka? I hope so, Mr. Fudge. Mason, any guesses?
Season 2, they're either going to do like a little Easter egg in the background, or they're going to have him be one of the main key parts of the story.
That could be. Any plans to return to Disney World? Yes, for the rest of my life. Hopefully at least once a year. The next time I know I'm going for sure is when we go on the cruise in 2025. But no official plans as of yet, Darren. When I do, I will certainly be using Mouse Fan Travel, as you know. Let's see. Happy early birthday to Deanna. Yes, I will pass that along, Mary. Thank you. I think Captain Rex or other clones will be shown in the Bad Batch. I hope so, and we've seen Rex in Bad Batch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think either Cody or Fox might make an appearance.
Yeah, we'll see. Anthony says, feelings on Kiss calling it a career. Dan, you think it's really the final show? I do. I really do. I watched the interviews before and after, and just this one just feels a little bit different because, Gene's almost 75, Paul's 71. And I don't know, I mean, 50 years is such an amazing, I think their last show was officially 50 years from their first show. So I do. But I'm not sad. I thought it was just such a beautiful way to end it. Do you agree, Mace?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think how they're going to make the electronic stuff is they're going to have one like every day, since there's no fatigue from it, since they're just electronics. So you can go different places, or maybe they'll have it like on a streaming service like Disney Plus or something.
Right, or you can do multiple shows in multiple cities in the same night too. Good point. Would I be down to do a Star Wars Holiday Special watch party? I do know some sites such as YouTube that still show it. Yes, I would. I haven't seen the Holiday Special since it first aired, so it's going to be brand new, and I'm sure Mason will be blown away by it too. Do we think we're going to get some teaser trailers soon for the Acolyte? I'm super pumped. I don't know. I don't know when we're going to see that. Usually it's fairly close to when it's about to air, so I haven't heard anything yet, but I sure hope so. Do I think there's any 332nd Legion alive? Gosh, I don't know. That would be really exciting if that were the case. Really exciting. Robert says the 1-1 in Chopper's name is evidently supposed to represent the shape of an H, but an H in Aurebesh doesn't look like that. Maybe it's just an old-fashioned H, like from that Earth place, perhaps. I don't know. That's a good call, Robert. Any ideas when season 3 of The Bad Batch will start on Disney Plus? You know what? I don't have any idea, but Darren, I'm sure you're the same way. Mason, I'm sure the same way. We can't wait to see season 3. I don't want that series to be over because it's so good, but I think the fact they are giving it an ending makes it even better because I think there's strength in giving a beginning, middle, and end to a story. Where's Otani going to sign? Mason, that's a question for you.
I think that he's either going to be on California or the other side of the U.S., so like somewhere in New York or somewhere, so he can be at least somewhere close to Japan.
Sure.
So maybe even in Canada, like Toronto, how he might sign.
It could be. As long as it doesn't sign with the Brewers, I'm happy.
Or Padres. Let's go Padres.
Yeah, well, yeah, who knows? I don't know. Do they have any money left? They spend a lot of money.
I don't know, but don't go to the Dodgers. How about that?
Yeah. Well, where we do want you to go is to CWK Live next Tuesday. Sorry, whoops, rewind. Where we do want you to go, deja vu, is next Monday night. It's a special night because Tuesday won't be available, but next Monday night on December 11th, we're going to return and we're going to give our top 5 moments from the Disney Plus series, Timeless Heroes, Indiana Jones, and Harrison Ford. Have a fantastic week. Mary, may the force be with you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It was so nice to see you all on CWK Live. 6 days to watch Harrison Ford show. Exactly. And practice your letter C so you can get ready. So you already know A. You know the B, looks like the hamburger. And then C is those 3 lines. The 2 lines that are longer, and then the one in the middle, which is perfectly in the middle of both of them. Pretty good. Mason's working on his now. He's got his A, he got his B, he got his C. And I've got you to thank for joining me here on CWK Live. On behalf of myself and Mason Zaire, want to say bye, buddy?
See ya!
Thanks so much, everybody. We will see you next time. Remember, this is a live podcast you're looking for. Be well. And may the stars light your way.